I'd now like to invite Councillor Gibson to come and take the seat at the top of the table. Okay.
Yeah.
Thanks, Steve.
Thank you.
Okay. So we're going to go on. Thank you, everyone, for being here, and thank you for that process. Congratulations, Mark, on deputy. I think it'll be a good team, as the rest of us in council. Right, we'll move on now to section 5, the record of attendance, apologies and approved leave of absence. We have here elected members, Councillor Moody, Councillor Layton, Councillor Miliseski and Councillor Gibson, myself. Then councillor-elect members, we have Councillor Sutherland and Councillor Orban. In officers, we have Matthew Bird, CEO, Natalie Bell, Exec Manager, Project and Reg Services, Paul Spencer, Exec Manager, Infrastructure Services. Yep. And then visitors, Mr. Keith Rowe, Honorary Freeman of the Shire. Thank you, Keith, for the process that you just went through. And also welcome to all the members in the public gallery. Thank you for coming along. And then leave of absence.
We have received one from Councillor Urban. Councillor Urban would like to have a leave of absence from the 17th of December through to the 31st of January 2026 for the purpose of travel Eastern States to visit family. So we'll bring that up under applications for leave of absence under point 9, and we'll ask council to consider it then. So
yeah. Okay, point 6, response to previous public question time taken on notice. There's Neil. Okay, then 7, public question time. Would anyone in the public gallery like to ask a question? No? Okay, moving on. 8, declarations of interest.
Yeah,
Neil. 9, applications for leave of absence.
Yeah, so as I said, Councillor Auburn's applied for leave of absence from the 17th of December through to the 31st of January. So we need to move a motion for council to approve that. We need a mover, Councillor Miliseski.
Seconder.
I'll second it.
Councillor Moody.
All those in favour?
Yep.
That'll be 6.
Very good.
Yeah. Okay, point 10, confirmation of minutes from the previous meeting. 10.1 is the ordinary council meeting minutes on the 16th of September 2025. The officer recommendation is that the minutes and associated attachments of the ordinary council meeting held on the 16th of September 2025 be confirmed as a true and correct record. Do we have a mover for that? And a seconder? That was Sue, sorry. And then Robert, Councillor Miliseski. All those in favour?
Yep.
6-0. Carried. No one needs to speak on that. No one wants to speak on that. Then we have point 11, announcements and reports by elected members. We'll go around the table. Councillor Moody.
Yep. Going back a little while ago now, I had a meeting with FQM, Matt and I did, with Mia, and I don't know how to pronounce her last name. Matt, you might be able to help me.
Goose.
Yep. And she was new to the company and was basically just giving us a rundown. They do see that the FQM will open eventually at some point, whether that's next year or in 10 years' time. That's what they are planning for. We spoke about the Seacrest Village as well, and what their thoughts were there. yeah, it was the price of nickel needs to basically double before they can come back online, but they're spending a lot of money making sure the plant's ready to go. So yeah, it was a good meeting, and we spoke about, you know, if they do come back online, trying to share airlines and get some RPT seats and things, and she took a lot on board. So, meeting, so that was good. I then chaired the BFAC meeting, which we've got the minutes coming up further and further on the meeting. Went to the markets in Hopetown in early October. It was very, very, very quiet. It was on the long weekend, which surprised me. Thought there would have been more people there. Driving through town, I did notice the Pony Club had an event on that day as well, which I didn't know that was happening, but there was a lot of people in town for that, so that was obviously well attended by people out of town. Went to the clay shooting club on the Sunday, watched that. It's a credit to Bernie and all the people out there, that all the effort they've put into that out there. I've never been out there and seen it before, and it's amazing what they've got set up there, and to have the people from all over the state. I think it was 40 odd people there camping out there and in town. It was very, very good. Did have a request out of the ordinary through the roads group. So I just keep the Shire informed here. Denmark wanted some more money to finish off one of their roads, and wanted to take all the money from the roads group instead of putting in their 1/3. So we had to have a vote on that. We agreed to it, I did, but said that they should still put their 1/3 of the extra money in. But apparently no other shires said that, but that's what they did. Then we attended the farewell to the 3 councillors here a couple of weeks ago, which was good evening. And just want to compliment the roads crews, Paul, from getting all the roads up ready for harvest. I had feedback that someone had rung Ted about a road, and I said they got a really good response from him. He listened and was very polite and very good. So that's really good feedback coming. Coming back in already from our internal road group we've got happening. So
we'll make sure we pass that on to the team.
Yeah, that's good. And harvest is happening or about to happen within the district. So just want to wish everyone a safe harvest and a good harvest, and be careful on the roads, because there's going to be a lot of trucks, and that especially on the gravel roads. The dust, stay out of the dust.
Yeah.
So, and that's it for me.
That's it. Thanks, Councillor Moody. Councillor Miliceski.
I attended the Walga conference in Perth, so there was a lot of excellent exhibitions there and displays out and about. So I learned a hell of a lot there, and quite a few. I think there's about, at the moment, 2 of the exhibitors actually came up and had meetings with the Shire as well, for certain things that we need out here, which is awesome. On the weekend, this Sunday coming, between 12 and 3, there's a Hopetown Volunteer Fire and Emergency Services Mitigation Fund Day for the whole family. So that'll be a good one to attend as well, for people who don't know that it's still happening. And I'd like to just welcome the new Shire councillors to our team.
Thank you,
Thank
Councillor
you.
Miliceski. Thank you, Councillor Orban.
I attended a medallion meeting at 4:30 today. It was
Yeah.
very informative, and that's all I have to say. Thank you.
Well done. Thank you, Councillor Sutherland.
I just attended the same meeting as Bill, so.
Thank you. Welcome. Councillor Layton.
Good evening. I've already said about the wildfire show, so that was good. I also drove up to Perth for the Walga conference, and I thought that was really good. I think they had a really good the exhibitors pavilion this year actually made you get around and have a look by having Glenn McGrath sign a cricket ball. And if you went round, and they had a QR code on each exhibitor, and the most amount of people who clicked onto that won that cricket ball. So it made people go around and you talk to them. So I didn't get very far because I talk a lot. So
Where is it from?
But we did get people you did talk about your Shire, so it was really quite, I thought that was the good part of it. And then the Hopetown Markets on the 4th of the 10th, and then on the 7th of the 10th, corporate discussion and farewell dinner with Roger, Tom and Graham, saying farewell to them. And on the 10th, we officially opened the Vivian Wildlife Photography Exhibition at Winsbury Arts. And I think that finishes. Okay. You sure about that one? And on the 15th, I met with Rob McGrath just regarding getting the scope ready for the Botanic Gardens, looking at having the concept plan and community consultation, sending it out, getting the scope ready for that. And I know this is probably not council related, but I jump on the Casey Australia tours and have a botanic guide around the region, and thought that was really good to actually people talking about the whole region and talking about the main street, because Casey's have this thing, if you're on a tour, you've got to stop in the main town, one of the towns, and they've got to spend their lunch there, so they've got to spend that hour there themselves and sort themselves out. But it was also on at the same time as the car rally that comes through, the Dirt and Dust car rally, I thought was really good. The other thing that came to town was the over 55s kayak team, and they spent 5 or 6 days here going around, so I thought that was really good. They had their flag up outside the house and where they were all staying. And probably not Shire related again, but I've had three snake call outs. The snake relocation for all your farmers. That's about it.
That's it. Thanks,
Except the clay target, I did go to that.
Oh, you did. Yeah.
A couple of days, so that was good.
Thanks, Councillor Layton. Okay, for myself, we had a Munganup on the 17th of the 9th. We had a Munganup community group meeting. We won't have any more meetings now, and probably until, or at least until after harvest, unless we get some wet weather, and we might just wing a meeting then. They're having containers for change issues out there at the moment. We normally get Esperance come over to collect our containers for change, and they've got a lack of funding apparently. So we're kind of rallying around and trying to get some groups. We're sending emails to them to try and see if they can up their funding again to keep that, because the money for the containers for change at Munganup goes towards the little local school, the PMC. So it actually is quite beneficial. So if we lose that service, then it is a worry of where those containers will go. On the 18th, I went to the Rady Cellars tasting. They had numbers floated kind of through, which was really good. It was a good initiative from Chelsea and Zane to have that. And then after that, I went to a co-op meeting where Matthew took us and showed us the shop over here. We had a look around at the grounds and a bit of a tour inside. Just to see, kind of discuss and have a look at some layouts and what opportunities might be there. Then also with Councillor Middleseski and Councillor Layton and Councillor Major at the time, we were all attended the Welga conference. And as we said, it was great to actually just network with other local governments for a start. I found that very beneficial. And then to go around to all the little stalls and yeah, like you said, we did get talking, and we actually did I learned a lot, and we all kind of took away things from there and made connections. So that was really good. And next year I did think it would be good to maybe not go to the cocktail party bit, but do a bit more networking with other local governments. We get more time to talk, and I think that's probably more beneficial, to be honest. And then we had, instead of on the 7th of October, instead of the corporate discussion, we changed that to a roads group meeting. And we've got some great updates. We discussed how we can better use our graders, again, with more staff coming on board. And then, as Mark said, the harvest prep on roads, the speed limits, and better signage, and about education of awareness this time of year and the dust and things like that. And then on the 7th of October, the farewell dinner for Councillor Major, Councillor Richardson and Councillor Mansell. And I'd like to thank the Shire for putting on a great setting, the table and everything, which actually you set up really nicely. So it did feel like a nice kind of farewell. And thanks, Councillor Moody, for your little speech and presentation you did for them as well. And it was nice to be able to have the partners come along for that event as well. And then on the 11th of October, it was very good. I was proud of everyone in the sense that I think 6 out of the 7 councillors did go to the Clay Target event that we were invited to. And I know they were very impressed with our turnout. And they had 48 kind of players. Tom opened the event and I think he shot the Clay Target, which he was quite relieved about, I think. They had one hut down because they've got the new generator, which they got through finances from the Community Development Fund, and they did have a few issues with that, but they were able to get through that and turn a few things off in the kitchen. There were 48 shooters, which came from everywhere: Esperance, Kalgoorlie, Bunbury, Boyup Brook, and of course locally. It was a state titles event, and the Terry Maloney from Esperance Feature Paints won it. And then our local Bernie Bidoff actually won the High Gun State Veterans competition and also the High Gun Club Veterans. So I do have a photo of that, so we might be able to pop that up on our Facebook page or something like that, put it out there somewhere. And that's all, thank you. Okay, so then item number 12, announcements by the presiding persons without discussion. Newell. Item 13, petitions, deputations, presentations and submissions. Newell. Item 14, matters arising from committees of council. So 14.1, Ravensthorpe Bushfire Advisory Committee, BFAC, unconfirmed ordinary minutes. And we have the committee recommendation is that council receive the unconfirmed minutes of the Bushfire Advisory Committee held on the 9th of September 2025, and point 2, receive the BFAC correspondence. Point 3, receive the BFAC officer reports. And point 4, endorse changes to the Shire of Ravensthorpe policies L01, L02 and L03. Do we have a mover for that, please? Councillor Orban and Councillor Moody. All in favour? 6. Anyone want to speak on that motion? Nope. 15, reports of officers. 15.1, exec services. 15.1.1, delegates of committee.
Thanks, Shire President. So we were able to populate that table during the agenda briefing. So if I can just read that out, if people can bear with me, what we discussed at the agenda briefing, and if council was happy with that, then we can move a motion to endorse it. So the officer recommendation is 1, that council adopt the new schedule for delegates to committees of council as listed in the table below. So there's 4 committees of council: the Audit, Risk and Improvement Committee, which is the full council with an independent chair. The Bushfire Advisory Committee, we had the member as Councillor Moody and the deputy as Councillor Sutherland. We have the CEO Performance Review, so they had stipulated positions of President and Deputy President. So the member would be Councillor Gibson and the Deputy President, Councillor Moody. And then we do need a third councillor rep to go on to the CEO Performance Review. So if councillors...
Councillor Orban.
Councillor Orban, any other councillors want to? Councillor Layton. So we've got two nominations for that one role. So we will need to have a vote on that.
Okay.
So so we can
show of hands, go around the table.
Yeah, we can
do
that.
Private.
It's up to council. Are you happy to do it in the public gallery? Yep. So so the motion would be to for those in favour of Councillor Orban for the member, raise your hands. 2, and those in favour of Councillor Layton for the member. So 4-4-2. Councillor Layton.
Yeah.
We then have the Ravensthorpe Tourism Advisory Group, which is a delegate of Councillor Layton, and the proxy was Councillor Miliseski. And then we go to point 2, that Council adopt the new schedule for delegates of committees for regional groups, local community and sporting groups is listed below. So the first committee name was the Great Southern Road Group. We had Councillor Moody, and we had 2 proxies, Councillor Auburn and Councillor Sutherland. The Local Emergency Management Committee is the President, Councillor Gibson, and the Deputy, which is Councillor Moody. The Development Assessment Panel, we had delegates of 2 delegates, Councillor Miliseski and Councillor Layton, and the proxies were Councillor Gibson and Councillor Auburn. The Hopetoun Progress Association, the delegate was Councillor Miliseski and the proxy was Councillor Auburn. Mungalunup Community Group, the delegate was Councillor Layton and the proxy was Councillor Sutherland. The Hopetoun Community Resource Centre, the delegate was Councillor Gibson and the proxy was Councillor Layton. The Ravensthorpe Community Resource Centre, the delegate was Councillor Gibson and the proxy was Councillor Auburn. The Fitzgerald River National Park Advisory Group, the delegate was Councillor Layton and the proxy was Councillor Moody. The Ravensthorpe Agricultural Initiative Network, the delegate was Councillor Moody and proxy was Councillor Sutherland. The Fitzgerald Biosphere Community Collective, the delegate was Councillor Councillor Layton, and the proxy was Councillor Gibson. The Hopetoun District Recreation Association, the delegate was Councillor Auburn and the proxy was Councillor Sutherland. Ravensthorpe Historical Society, the delegate was Councillor Layton and the proxy Councillor Moody. The Ravensthorpe Town Team and the Hopetoun Town Team, we decided not to fill those positions at this stage, and once they're active we can bring that item back to Council. The GEDC, the Goldfields Esperance Development Commission, the Regional Coordination Group, we had delegate Councillor Gibson and proxy was Councillor Layton. The Jurta Cut-Up Community Association, the delegate was Councillor Gibson and the proxy was Councillor Auburn. The Jurta Cut-Up Ravensthorpe Nickel Operations Working Group, the delegate was Councillor Gibson and the proxy was Councillor Miliseski. The North Ravensthorpe Community Group, the delegate was Councillor Moody and the proxy Councillor Sutherland. The Ravensthorpe Community Centre, the delegate was Councillor Layton and the proxy was Councillor Gibson. And the Wolga Great Southern Country Zone, the delegate was Councillor Auburn and also Councillor Gibson and the proxy was Councillor Moody. We also had another one, Shire President, which I'd like to add on after our meeting with the Medallion Metals Group this afternoon. So the Medallion Metals are forming in their own community group. So if we can add in a Medallion Metals Community Group representative, the delegate was Councillor Miliseski and the proxy was Councillor Auburn. And then point 3, that Council endorsed the officer recommendation for appointment of an independent chair for the Audit, Risk and Improvement Committee as per the confidential attachment 3. And if Council want to discuss that, we'll just ask to go behind closed doors. But as long as councillors are happy with how I just outlined those delegations, as Councillor Moody mentioned in the agenda briefing, we will have another councillor hopefully join us in the new year, so we might have a fresh look at that in terms of the allocations as required.
Yep. Thank you. So we'll go then officer recommendation at point 1, that council adopt the new schedule for delegates to committees of council as listed in the table below that Matt read out. And do we have a mover for that, please? I don't have to reread them, do I?
No.
Councillor Miliseski, seconder. Councillor Auburn. All in favour? 6, carried. Anyone want to speak on that at all? No. Then point 2, that council adopt the new schedule for delegates to committees of regional groups and local community and sporting groups as listed in the table below that Matt read out once again. Do we have a mover? Councillor Auburn, seconder. Councillor Sutherland. All in favour? 6, yep. Then point 3, that council endorse the officer recommendation for appointment of an independent chair for the Audit, Risk and Improvement Committee, ARIC, as per confidential attachment 3. Now, do I need to say Or
No,
do we
if-
just go through?
If council are happy to vote on that, and if there, any councillors want to discuss it, we can go
We'll
behind.
have a
closed doors.
mover for that one. Councillor Moody, seconder, Councillor Layton. All in favour? 6. Anyone want to speak on that?
I can announce that now, Shire President, if you
Thank
like. So the officer recommendation was for Freeman Keith Rowe to be the independent chair. So don't raise your eyebrows like that, Keith. So can announce that. So congratulations, Keith.
Thanks, Keith. Item 15.2, corporate services, 15.2.1, monthly financial report, 30th of September 2025. The officer recommendation is that council receive the September 25 monthly financial reports as presented. Do we have a mover for that, please? Councillor Layton, seconder. Councillor Orban. All in favour? 6. Anyone want to speak on that motion?
Against that will be with the amendments that you've mentioned earlier, with the
Some of the typos.
typos. Yeah.
Yep.
Cheers.
Yep.
Thank you.
Item 15.2.2, schedule of account payments, September 25. The officer recommendation is that council, pursuant to the regulation 13 of the local government financial management regulations 1996, the payments of accounts for the month of September 2025 be noted. We have a mover for that, please. Moody, seconder. Councillor Sutherland. All in favour? Carried. Anyone want to speak on that at all? No? Okay, item 16, members' motions on of which previous notice has been given. Nil. 17, new business of an urgent nature introduced by decision of meeting. Nil. Then 18, matters to be considered behind closed doors. Nil. And then 19, closure of the meeting.
6:46 p.m.
46. Beautiful.